Hello there. Hi, everybody. How are y'all doing tonight? So I just wanted to come on and talk about a couple things before I turn it in for the night. Thanks to those of you who've just subscribed. I really appreciate it. Ooh, Lord, this lighting got me looking. Ciao. Y'all gonna have to tolerate me tonight, okay, with no makeup on. But all right, so the first thing I wanted to talk about, right, was so I think was it yesterday or day before yesterday? I don't know, something, but I downloaded I have Windows 10 on my computer. So I downloaded WSL. I don't remember what that stands for. I think it's WSL, but anyway, it's being able to put Linux on Windows. So I went ahead and I downloaded that. It's really neat. So I put Kali on it. I also put Ubuntu. Is that how you say that? Ubuntu, something like that. I downloaded that. And what's neat, like one of the neat things, there's a lot of neat things about it, but I was able to see my Windows files on my Linux machine, which was cool. And I can interchange commands. So Windows commands I can use, and my instead of the what the hell is that? The thing that you see in Linux, like with your username and all that. It just had the C, like I was in Windows. And, I did the dir instead of ls and all that. It was just really neat. Okay. So if you have, I don't know, if you have the room to do it, go ahead and download that Windows Linux thing. It's really, really neat. Like the stuff you can do is pretty amazing. And I haven't even done everything. Okay. So it's pretty amazing. So I told you all that in February, I'm going to be presenting at the Blacks in Cyber Winter Conference. Okay, it's going to be online. Go ahead and sign up for that. I don't know if it costs money. If it does, I'm sure it's not a lot, but there's going to be a lot of great speakers at that thing, including me. And I'm going to be talking about mental models, right? So what I wanted to say about that is, and so I'm uploading stuff on LinkedIn just to give y'all an idea of what I'm going to be talking about in that mental models in cybersecurity. And what was the title? I think I said like, don't think like a hacker or something like that. So I'm doing that on LinkedIn, and plus, I'll do it here. So now what do I mean by that? So when I say stop thinking like a hacker, right? Okay, listen at this. If I said to you, in order for you to do well at this thing, I need you to think like a janitor. Okay, what would you do if I said think like a janitor? Or let's pick something else. What if I wanted you to do something else, right? And you would have, I say, okay, now I need you to think like a ballerina or something. Like, what would you do? Like, what does that even mean? What does that mean? And if I told you something like that, you'd probably ask, Cheryl, what the hell are you talking about? How do you think like a ballerina or a janitor? Well, according to us, what it means is you go do what they do. Go squeeze yourself into a tutu, all right, and start twirling. Apparently, that's what it means to think like a ballerina. To think like a janitor, what you need to do is go get you a bucket and a mop, and put on some overalls. Get yourself a broom, some cleaning supplies, and go clean some shit. Apparently, what I'm saying is apparently that's what that means. Okay, when I say you to think like something or somebody, a profession, whatever, apparently that means go do what they do. If you're thinking like your spouse or your girlfriend or your boyfriend, that means you go do what they do. At least that's what we're saying. Because when we say things like a hacker, that means go hack some shit. Okay? Apparently, right? And my argument is that, first of all, that's not what that means. Okay? That is totally not what that means. It's not. It's not. Now, if you want me to go do what they do, I can absolutely do that. But that does by in no way means that I am thinking like that person or that profession or what, whatever it is. Okay. And because you can't, like, it's impossible. You cannot. You can do what they do, but you can't think like they do. All right. Because you do not have the information, the experience, all that stuff that goes into thinking. There's a lot of things that go into thinking, okay? It's not just what you read on a document and you feel like you've learned, all your experience goes into the way you think, the things that you give attention to, the stuff you're scared of, right? You got a whole bunch of shit that goes into thought, all right? So first of all, we're not even doing that. Like you could say, think like a hacker from here to eternity, but you're not doing that because you can't. Just like somebody who, like, if somebody says, okay, I need you to think like Cheryl. Like, what the hell? What are you talking about? I can't do that. Or whoever you are out there, somebody telling somebody else, I want you to think like her. That's crazy. So anyway, what I'm saying, what we can do, all right, which is what the whole talk is about, what we can do is use mental models to start thinking differently about things. That's what we can do. All right. I can still think like who I am, think like a security person who has the job of security and safety. I can stay in my shoes, okay, and use different mental models, to get a broader understanding, to use more of my thinking capacity, okay? So that's where I'm coming from with this talk that I'm doing in February, okay? And it's not like it's not about like whatever the hell you're doing it, So and what I'm saying is just something to further inform actions when it comes to the way we secure ourselves. And the thing is, right, I found, and I'm going to talk about it too, reference some of these things, but I posted one on LinkedIn. One of the guys was talking about, he's basically saying the same thing. Now, he was a hacker at the NSA and a whole bunch of shit. I mean, his resume is like, goes on forever about all the amazing things he's done as far as, ethical hacking and all that. But he was saying, there's too much attention on this. Like, it's kind of like, and you can absolutely tell that, red team, penetration testing, all that stuff, it's like on a pedestal, like it's like blue team worships those people, and if they either worship them or they got some kind of attitude about it, which is something else that I heard in a panel. They feel some type of way about red team, okay? Because they don't act like they're part of the team a lot of times. That's what I'm hearing. Listen, I'm just telling you what I'm hearing. All right. So they feel some type of way about them, or they aspire to be them. Okay. They aspire to be like that, and it's almost like you have no credibility if you don't know how to hack into some shit as a security person, That stuff, I mean, that's the most ridiculous. I tell you the truth, the most ridiculous. But anyway, I'm gonna be talking about, all that stuff there. I'm gonna have to get it out of my system before I do the damn thing, because anyway, so one of the ideas that I had, right, is now I just heard. I think I've seen one organization that does Sockathons, right? Which is like the opposite of a hackathon. Okay. They do Sockathons. And I don't know all the details of how they do that, but from what I've been researching, the thing is that Blue Team has restrictions. You can't go into an organization and do whatever the hell you want to do. I don't care how good you are at security or what. You can't just go in there and put controls on stuff. You can't. Okay. That, you're working for an organization, you're sharing in their goal. Okay. You are enabling with security as an enabler. You're enabling individuals to do the work they need to do to get the job done. Okay. And let me say this, we are not there to prevent organizations from getting hacked. That is not our role. We got to stop thinking like that. That's not what the hell is going on. You're not going to prevent anybody from getting hacked. Stop. Okay. We have to stop thinking in that way. Our role is to keep them within at an acceptable level of risk. Okay. Because they say, this is how much risk I want to tolerate. This is the business we're in. This is how much risk, we feel we can tolerate and still, keep going at the momentum that we're going. All right. So that's what we're there for, to help them stay within that, what they've said, this is our risk appetite. All right. Help them stay in there. And even then, you're not going to stop anything. You're not going to stop any hacks or anything like that. But if you can at least keep them within that acceptable level, then we've succeeded. And that's everybody working together. Okay, that's not just Blue Team. That's leadership. That's policy writers, all that. That's trainers. Everybody working together to get that done. So what I feel like is that because we have different circumstances, right? We don't have the same conditions as hackers have, who just get out there and do whatever the hell they want to do. We don't no restrictions or whatever. We have confines. So with that, our scenarios need to map the reality. So what I think and what I'm developing, designing, is for individuals, like when you go in there and you do security, right? You have a budget, you have a level of risk that you have to stay, at or under, and to go over it would, it means you've been compromised in a way that the organization, they have to do some incident, whatever you call that incident thing, right? But make it more real, make it more real. We can't go in there and do the same thing they do because we don't work in the same conditions they do. Yeah, so that's my idea. And I'm going to expound more and have a whole outline and all that stuff for that thing when it comes up. All right, so the last thing, CTFs. Now this is in line with CTFs and vulnerable machines. So I have been working on a few of those, and my friend gets so frustrated because I do CTFs and vulnerable machines to learn that shit. I'm not racing to find a freaking flag, okay? There's no fire under me that I gotta hurry up and find. No, I'm trying to, understand, why does this work like this? Why do I have to write a script instead of, can I just use wget to get that, that document out of the server? How can I use Telnet, instead of SSH to do this thing? You know what I mean? That's what I'm there for. I'm really trying to, which means I'm not rushing to get to the next thing, until I'm ready to get to the next thing. Okay, I got this. I see why I do it that way and not this way. So, okay, what's the next step for this? It'll take me a good week to do one of those things, okay? Because that's what I'm doing it for, because I'm trying to learn it. And what doesn't happen, because I experienced this when I was studying for my CISA, all right? I got practice labs. Now, practice labs is excellent. I love practice labs. They're very good. And they take, I'm telling you, these people hold your, they damn near carry you, okay, through each of the labs. They almost carry you, all right? But they, at the least, they hold your hand. You see every screenshot. They give, I mean, meticulous directions, everything. So, but that, if I'm trying to learn how to do that thing, that is not useful. You know, it's just not, it's not useful. So I did the practice labs, right? And then I saw that, I believe it was Test Out, that had like a week, you get a week free or something. Test Out was like, you know, you on your own. Okay, this is what you need to do, go do it. Child, I looked at that thing, I'm like, I have no idea what to do. I didn't know what to do, because I was following practice labs step by step by step by step. I knew I didn't have to, like, they had it. Okay, it's like, you know how when your little babies, you put their feet on top of your feet and you walk, like that's what practice labs did. So somebody told me to walk on my own. I'm like, what the hell? I don't know how to do that. You know what I'm saying? So for a learning CTF, a learning or a vulnerable machine or whatever, you know, and I don't look at them like that either. I just, you know, but it's really about taking my time to go through and learning this thing, and not just what's in the thing. I do like supplemental stuff, right? I have learned so much about memory and buses and bits and programming languages. You know, Java. You know how Java uses. There's like two of them, right? So first of all, you have your compiled, and then you have your interpreted, right? With the compiled being read straight to the hardware, and the interpreter needs it needs something. What do you call that damn thing that it needs to run? I forget, but it needs something to run. Okay, so there's that, and then you have how, you know, HTML and JavaScript falls under the interpreted, but then you have Java, okay, which is like a hybrid of both, you know. So even in doing that, like I go into other avenues to try to see, you know, what's going on with that. Why is this working this way? I'm big into the why, you know. Y'all saw what I did with subnetting, okay? I didn't get this subnetting. Nobody could tell me what a damn bit was, okay? And don't tell me no ones and zeros, because that ain't what the hell it is, okay? I'm talking about in the real world. What the hell is a bit? You know? I couldn't get nobody to tell me. I couldn't find, if I typed it in there, everything I typed, what is a bit? It came up ones and zeros. I'm like, you a damn lie. That is not what it is, okay? Ones and zeros represent what it actually is, and not what the hell I'm asking you. So I had to just do a whole bunch of stuff. Anyway, I found out what that was, but that's what I'm talking about, right? I am like 100% into learning what this shit is. If it's something that, like, I know all the technology, you know, that I'm using, and, you know, all the people that go into helping to make it, from the hardware to the software, and, you know, and the input output devices, all that stuff, right? If I'm going to be able to do what I need to do, I need this shit to work, and I don't need anybody getting in my way. All right, I don't need no little gremlins in there doing stuff they don't need to be doing. Okay, so yes, I'm absolutely 100% into security. So I have the freedom to do what the hell I need to do, okay, without worrying about people reading confidential stuff and think I'm business reading and all that. So I'm into that, right? So with that in mind, I really want to know, both as a cybersecurity professional and as a consumer and user of this stuff, which all of us are, all of us cyber professionals are also users, okay? Every single one of us. And users are the weakest link. That's what they say, right? Users are the weakest link. Mm-hmm. Actually, it's people. Okay, wherever you have a heartbeat in the chain of information systems, from making that shit to using it, you got a weakness. You have a vulnerability there. Okay. Why? Because you got people making decisions for various reasons. And sometimes, those decisions aren't the best. Okay. Those decisions create a vulnerability, whether it's the leadership saying, I ain't got money to pay for that, or I don't want to pay for that, or I want to use that for something else, figure it out, from the to developers who are like, hey, they're asking for this, they want it in 2 weeks, we just got to give it to them. We ain't got time to do what they call shift to the left or whatever the hell that's called. We ain't got time for that, so they just do it. Decisions. Everywhere you have a decision, you have a potential vulnerability. You understand? Policy people, too. I'm in policy. Are we writing that stuff the right way? So I feel like the ability to be able to really learn about what these things are, what kind of decisions go into making them work the way they work. Okay, I think that's important. At least for me, it's important. Not everybody ain't got to do that. All right, y'all do what the hell y'all want to do. I'm just sharing, just sharing what I do because I like it. Like I really really enjoy learning this stuff. I got notebooks. I got like 5 notebooks just full of. You think I was in school? Okay, you think I was in school? And I'm as I'm preparing for the conference next week, not next week, next month. I'm doing research on various things. Now, I came on this channel, and the video is called "Vulnerability as a Security Control." Okay. I was like, vulnerability as a security control. My friend was like, girl, what the hell does that mean? How you use vulnerability as a security control? So I've redefined like all kind of stuff from cybersecurity to security. I mean, just all kind of stuff. Because what I see is that we treat cyber is because it's supposed to be the 5th domain of war, whatever the hell they say about that. So we treat it like war, just think about the language we use for this stuff, attack and boot camp, right? Just like for basic training, you go to boot camp, like everybody is there to fight. Cybersecurity is about fighting somebody so that we remain secure, right? Okay. But I think that there's we can see it from in a different way. And when we see it from a different way, we can come up with other solutions, as long as it's a fight, what's the solution? A bigger weapon, a better weapon, more soldiers, that's what it is. We're gonna be fighting forever and then losing, terribly losing. Why? Because we're trying to think like the person who's attacking us. That's why. I told my friend, I said, listen, what's a basketball team that's real good? Shit, I don't know. Like, I know the Bulls used to be good. They still good? I don't know. Think back to when the Bulls were really good. They might still be. I don't know. But listen, was Jordan thinking like somebody on the other team, whatever team they were? Hell no. He wasn't doing that. Like, think about good football players. Or even bad football. The Washington Redskins. So that's who's around here. From what I see and hear, they're not very good. Okay, that's what I hear. They're not too good. So in order for them to be better, do they need to think like another team? I don't think so. It'll take way more than that. Way more than that. If we frame cybersecurity differently and not as war, we expand or we broaden the way we think about it. So it's not just war. Okay, it could be like an event, which is what I said in the other video. It could be just like a tornado, right? Tornadoes happen when the conditions are such that a tornado is coming. All right, you got the high pressure and the low pressure got to get together and all that. And if you live in an area prone to tornadoes because the conditions are such that it's probable. Okay, anything is possible anywhere. All right, it's possible we could have a hurricane up here. It's possible tornado, but is it probable? Not as much as it is in Oklahoma, because the conditions we have here are not like they are in Oklahoma. You know what I'm saying? So if you have electronic equipment that is on the internetwork, where the purpose of a network is to share. That's what a damn network is, okay? You're not on a network to be private, okay? If you're on a network is for sharing, okay? How probable on a network that's created to share, how probable is it that somebody is gonna infiltrate into your subnetwork? It's very probable. Now, who does it is another question. Okay, that's when you get into what kind of threat actors you are, what kind of business you're doing. Amazon has a different threat landscape than Victoria's Secret. Okay, so all of that is dependent. But the thing is, you are in a place, a situation that is prone to that kind of event. All right. So first of all, if I went to Oklahoma, and I did like 2 years ago, and a tornado started, first of all, I'm not going to be surprised, okay? Because I'm in Oklahoma where tornadoes happen. If I'm in California and an earthquake starts, am I going to be shocked? Like, what the hell? What? No, I'm not. They got fault lines and shit over there. Of course you're going to have, come on. So when somebody, when a large event happens, okay, to someone who is connected to the network. Good to see you streaming again. I'm not able to really interact, but always good to hear your insight. Hi, Tyrell. Yeah, I've been lazy. Not lazy, I've just been doing a lot of stuff, So what I'm saying is, right, when we hear things like, the fire eye and all that, why people shot? Like, oh my God, like how did they, come on. Come on. Now you may be a little surprised at the level, okay, of or whatever, but even then, I don't feel like you should be surprised, right? Because again, we are not here to stop attacks. That is not what cyber professionals do. We do not stop attacks. Meteorologists don't stop hurricanes, okay? They tell you when that shit is coming, all right? But they're with all their tools and all that, and you got to get ready. They can't stop nothing, okay? They don't have that kind of capability. You can't stop nothing. I don't care how good of an ethical hacker you are or a security professional. You ain't stopping nothing. All right. So, but what you can do is to help the organization the best you can to stay within what they said is their ability to tolerate risk. Help them stay within those confines. We can tolerate hacks up to this point, before, we would have to shut down and, let the press know or whatever, So if we get our minds right first and get the goal right, okay? Because you're gonna keep failing if you're trying to stop a damn act. And one dude, you know, I put it on my LinkedIn, is that he said, I forget his exact words, but he said, you already got somebody in your system, okay? So now that's where you need to start. Start there. Don't start with nobody's here yet. So let me put the gates up. Let me put the locks on it. No, 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 no. Somebody is in your house now. They in there right now. I don't know where they at. You know, they hiding somewhere, like something, but they're in there. That's where you got to start with security. Okay. Now what you gonna do? What you gonna do now? What are you gonna do now? Like if it was your real house, your real actual, see my house in the background? Somebody's already in here. Now what am I gonna do to stay secure? That requires a different kind of thinking, doesn't it? You can't go to them damn stigs for this, okay? They're already in here. They own your network. They see everything you're doing. Now what? You can get the threat hunters in and all that, okay? You can get them in there, but they're in here. The question now is, how can I still be safe and secure and able to do what I need to do when I got knuckleheads up in here running around who don't belong in here? Okay, that takes some creativity. All right, thinking like a hacker ain't gonna work right there. That takes another kind of mental model to come up with ways for me, for the business, for you to still get shit done, okay, when you got people up in here already. And we're gonna talk about that at the thing too, okay? Because I presented this like 2 months ago. You know, I talked about that, right? Because that's what there's, and he's not the only one saying that. There's a lot of people, a lot of these professional men, mostly men, which is another thing I'm gonna talk about, okay? I expect to rattle some feathers. I do. Anyway, yeah, we're gonna talk about that because we have to, and it's so sad. You know, when I first came into cybersecurity, one of the first things I noticed was the disparity, the imbalance between the blue and the red team. I mean, look at the certifications. Look at the certifications. Just forget about everything else. Look at the work that has been done to prepare blue and red for what they do. As I don't know of other than the CISA, like what the hell is there? What's the equivalent of the OSCP on the blue team side? Like what is that? Or the I don't know. I don't think they have one. What's the like all of these conferences, child, all these hacker conferences and all this stuff, what's the equivalent? So what I wrote on LinkedIn the other day, so I put that video with a guy in there who worked at NSA where he was talking about that disparity, you know, and what he tries to do is to be sure, like absolutely 100% sure that all this hacking and shit that he's doing, okay, is 100% going back to, you know, helping organizations protect themselves from this kind of thing, okay? Which brings me to another thing, okay? But the thing is, like, you know, what we got to do something about that, because that's ridiculous. You call yourself, first of all, if you call yourself a security professional, but all I see you doing is breaking into shit. Like say you're a law enforcement, you're a police officer, okay? You're here to protect my neighborhood. But every time I look up, your ass crawling through somebody's window, you breaking down a door, So I don't want you protecting me. And you get nothing but joy out of it. I mean, you are so excited. You know, you are when you bust into something that don't belong to you, you just get you get chill bumps and you're smiling from cheek. I mean, you're just happy. You're happy, and you can't wait to get into another house. I don't want you protecting me. Oh no. Mm-mm. I don't. And when you come to talk to me about protecting myself based on what you did, I mean the enthusiasm just is not there. You barely even, you don't show me how to do nothing. You just, you might want to read this, go to that Google site or whatever. I got to get to my next house to break in. That's the kind of attitude it's around here. Okay. And I know I'm not saying nothing that y'all don't see, even if you don't admit it. Okay. You see that. You see the child. I mean, the blood just rushes to all the jiggly bits when you break into them damn machines. Okay. And security don't get no love. None. It's like an afterthought. You know? For us, a profession supposedly made of security profession. I don't understand. So when I came into this, I'm like, what the hell? Where am I? Like, what the hell is going on here? Everywhere I turn, somebody talking about hacking some shit. Isn't it cybersecurity? Like, why? Listen. And then the idea that I, as a security professional, like, I'm not going to get hired. Ain't nobody going to look at me. I mean, nothing's going to happen unless I get some, exploits or whatever on my resume. Nobody going to hire me for the law enforcement job unless they see on my resume how many businesses, cars, houses I done broke into. Unless they see that, I'm not going to get a job. Listen, I'm just saying, we got to think. We got to think. Think about what you're trying to do to me. Okay, let's think about this, is what I'm saying. But let's think about it in a different way. What time is it? All right, so my radio show is tomorrow at 12 o'clock. I'm really excited. I'm very excited. I don't know what the hell I'm going to talk about, but we're going to see. We are going to see. But if y'all aren't members of Blacks in Cyber, go ahead and be. Do you hear me on the damn video? Let me go. This one's got me coming out myself. All right, but y'all go ahead and sign up for Blacks in Cyber. And if you're not on my LinkedIn, go ahead and get on my LinkedIn so you can see all the, the stuff I put out there to prepare you. I don't want you to be shocked, prepare you for February and for this 1 hour presentation that I'm going to give on mental models in cybersecurity. Okay. All right. And if you haven't subscribed to the channel, please do so. So I'm going to see y'all here next time. Okay. Have a good night.